Good morning. Welcome back to Women Driven to Succeed. Today, I'm really excited. We're actually going to talk about a topic that is very necessary in the business world. And I'm going to say it's not talked about a huge amount in terms of coaches, consultants, holistic therapists, in my experience. So I'm very grateful that the lovely Ruth Ferreira has joined us today. Ruth, how are you?
Well, thank you. How are you?
I am wonderful. So, Ruth is a success coach and she's the founder of the Success Club. But I'm going to let Ruth introduce herself properly and introduce the topic that we're going to be talking about.
Amazing. So, as Joanna said, I am Ruth Ferreira, success coach and the founder of Success Club. I'm a business growth coach who's passionate to empower small business owners to take their business to the next level and accelerate their success. So, in my experience, almost all small business owners aren't enjoying the level of success they deserve. They tend to be amazing at what they do. They provide a fantastic product or service. But what they're not great at is knowing how to actually grow their business. And the crazy thing is, it's not rocket science, but it's also not taught in schools. And if you don't know, you don't know. I'm on a mission to change that and empower small business owners to take their business to the next level and thrive, to help them to accelerate their success, to find more clients, make more money, and just be the person that they know they can be, that they want to be, to enjoy the confidence and self respect that comes from achieving their potential. And alongside that, providing a secure, comfortable income and being an inspiring role model for their families and communities. Amazing. Okay, so I'm going to talk about upselling today. I'm also going to talk a little bit about cross-selling. Um, and this is probably something a lot of you are, you've just taken a deep breath, you've taken a gulp, your pulse has started to race a little bit because it's a topic that really strikes fear into a lot of small business owners, especially women. And the crazy thing is, it is a scary sounding topic, but it shouldn't be. It's super simple. And if you get it right, which you should be able to do after this, it should be a massive win for both you and your clients. So, when it's done right, it should leave your clients feeling absolutely delighted at the amazing value they get from it. And if you're not doing it, honestly, you are cheating yourself and your clients. So, yeah, like really engage with this, take notes and think. That's the most important thing you can do in this session is think, what could this look like in my business? It's a simple thing to do and it can make a massive difference to your profit in your business. So it's very worth implementing.
Yeah. And I think before we get into the details of it, most people don't know because it isn't the most popular topic that you see out there. Can you describe and just explain really quickly what it is?
Absolutely. So it's a very simple thing. It's just asking the client or customer if they'd like to buy a larger volume or an upgraded version of the product that they are about to buy for a perceived better price. So the best example of this is McDonald's. Who's been at the counter buying one of their meals and they ask you, would you like to go large? It's happened to all of us. I mean, I'm not a massive McDonald's goer, but at least once a year. Six simple words that anyone can say, and they make a massive difference to the profit that McDonald's make on a yearly basis. It's a simple, rehearsed statement, a one liner that even a hungover 16-year-old can perfect. Like it's not hard. No offense to McDonald's staff. That hopefully no one's offended by that. But it's responsible for probably millions of dollars of their annual profit. And it's just asking that client, would they like to buy more of the product or upgrade some features for a slightly increased cost? So timing's a big thing for upsell.
Hmm.
And a lot of people, they come to me and they're talking about an upsell and it's not an upsell. An upsell is at the point of sale. So the customer's already said yes, like they want to buy. They're in buying mode and they're feeling good about their purchase. So that's absolutely essential. And with any upsell, the key things you want to be thinking about, what is the value add to the client? So this is what most people get wrong, is it's they're making it about you, you're not making it about the client. So they need to see the value in the upsell. And secondly, you want to be thinking about the profit that's added to the transaction. If it's not adding profit to you, it's also not an upsell or it's not working as an upsell. 40p extra to go large, that is not a lot for the client to pay. Like it's not a big thing for them to say yes to. And if they want a larger meal, it's a no-brainer. But for McDonald's, most of that is profit
Mm.
because the added costs are minimal. So this results in a massive increase in their global profit. And it's a win-win for the customer because they get a larger meal for not a lot more. And it's a massive win for the business. So with any upsell, you want to really focus on the win-win, especially for the clients. And this is where a lot of small businesses mess up. Their offer doesn't add enough value to the customer,
Mm.
and it leaves everyone feeling icky. And this is something, if either side is coming away from this feeling icky, like this is not good. And that's a technical term, icky. If you're not
Sure
feeling,
is.
if your clients aren't feeling great about saying yes to the upsell, then you need to rethink it. Something to also note at this point, they're not all going to say yes. That's
Mm.
absolutely fine. It's never personal. It's just offering them, it's offering them something more. If it's right for them, they say yes, fabulous. If it's not, then they just say no, and you go on and complete the transaction at what they were originally expecting. So upselling is something that goes hand in hand with cross-selling. It's not something I mentioned in the title of this talk, but it would be weird not to talk about it. So let's just consider for a second, what is a cross-sell? Let's go back to trusty McDonald's. So the cross sell is when you're literally buying a burger and the server asks, would you like fries with that? Another 6 magic words that anyone can simply say that add huge profit to the business. So it adds, I had to look this up by the way, it adds about £1 or so per order. And I'm guessing at least 80 pence of that is profit, at least 80%. I mean, I'm guessing how much does it cost to make fries? I did Google, I couldn't get the exact numbers. It's just an ask. A cross sell is an ask to buy an additional product that's complementary to the first product. It's often cheaper, not always, but it adds value to the first product. So maybe it's like a cake or a donut with your cup of coffee. Maybe it's a pair of socks with a new pair of trainers. Anything that sits nicely and adds value to the original purchase is a contender. So there's a lot of overlap between cross-sell and upsell. A lot of people start to get a bit antsy about which one it is.
Mm.
Quite frankly, it does not matter. The key thing that matters is that you get the timing right. So you're upselling or cross-selling when people are in buying mode. So imagine you're buying a watch online. You get to the checkout and there is a discount on a cleaning cloth. Honestly, who needs the cleaning cloth? But the key thing is you're possibly going to buy it because it's coming at the right time. You're in buying mode and you're going to clean your watch with something. Why not have a specific watch cleaning cloth? And for a lot of people, all you need to do is check the box to add it on. That's an upsell. No, wait, that's a cross sell. See, it really doesn't matter which is which. It's something that's super simple to do, but when you're in buying mode, you're much more likely to buy multiple things. And I'm a great example of this. Do you know what I mean? Once I start buying things, especially on Amazon, it's a scary place to be. I can happily buy. I mean, I'm not sure if it's a female thing. I'm going to refrain from any gender stereotype. I
It's
think.
not. My partner's the same.
Okay, amazing. Mine's much more restrained, but I think I don't know half the stuff he buys. So, when you're in buying mode, like the floodgates are open, like watch out cards. And that's the thing we want to sort of capture in an ethical way. Amazon is actually brilliant for cross-selling and upselling. They have that box that shows customers also bought. Honestly, this is quite a dangerous thing to look at because it's apparently responsible for 35% of their revenue. Just think about that for a second. 35% of Amazon's income is from cross-selling or upselling. And small businesses don't often do this. What are you missing out on, people? Like, this has got to become something that you consider as like your, as part of your daily operations. And as I said, sometimes, the upsell is as simple as ticking a box when you're buying something to get the deluxe model rather than the standard model. It can be online, it can be in a form, it can be super subtle, and it doesn't need to be awkward or complicated. Let's look at some classic upsell examples. Imagine, Joanna, you're going into a car showroom. To be fair, I try and avoid it because I know I'm going to come out with a model a lot better. But have you ever had that experience? You go in thinking you're going to buy one thing and you come out with like a sunroof, like, fancy locking mechanisms, that key that you get into and you never actually have to turn the ignition on. It just knows you're in the car.
Oh, for sure. I have the shiny object syndrome problem. That's me.
I love it. I love it. And that is an upsell. You know, you're going to buy one thing and they offer you this phenomenal deal. So only however much more. And you get all these like snazzy extra features. It's hard to say no to because you want them. And that's when you know they've nailed the upsell because it's an easy yes for you. Also think about the supermarket. So I'm Scottish, so I love value. It's that classic supermarket example that we all go for. The 3 for 2s, often on the end of the aisle to catch your attention. 3 for 2 is brilliant because for the supermarket, they make a second sale, but they're still making sufficient extra profit on the deal of giving away the three that it makes sense to give that third item away for free. So a key thing, if anyone's thinking about doing this, it only works if your profit margin is more than 50%.
Mm.
So for anyone who's sort of working out what their upsell is, make sure you run your numbers. Make sure every time you know how much profit you're making on any upsell that you're offering. If you've not worked this out, please sit down and do it, because if you're not making more profit, you're better not doing it. So there's lots of different types of upsell. And what I'd love to do here is just blitz through a few. And I really want anyone watching this to dig in and think, not am I going to do this? That is the wrong question. But what might that look like in my business? What could I do? Because there's still going to be a lot of you here who are like, ugh, I'm not going to do this. It's terrifying and it's not right for me. But there will be something that could work for you. The first one, and I love this, it's very easy to do, the deluxe upsell. What would the deluxe version of your offering look like? What additional attractive benefits could you add in that aren't going to cost very much to add? It's not going to take a lot of your time or a lot of extra cost to your business, but will increase the profit. So what might that be for you? So for me, I worked out for my one-to-one clients, I could add mid-month check-in phone call. I have since, but I was thinking about a year ago, could I add in a follow-up email containing all of their action items? So I chose not to do that as an upsell. I chose to do that as standard because I want to give as much value as possible to my clients. But that could have been a brilliant upsell that not everyone would have wanted, but some people would have paid more for. Then you've got the option to reduce the price for multiple purchases. So it might be like as you increase the number you're buying, the hourly rate goes down. You'll see this with a lot of virtual assistants. So my virtual assistant does this. And it's wonderful because the more time you spend, the cheaper it gets per hour. So have a think with your business, like, could that work? Do people pay for a set quantity of your time? Could they maybe take more and benefit from it?
And if I could throw in another suggestion there as well, Ruth, just for anyone who is coaches, like if you're putting out an offer as well, um, what can you nearly bonus in, so an add-on into it? But a great way to do it that I found is if you ask people what they need, or if you're listening during during the sales calls or conversations that you have, you can find something that will 100% be of like life-changing value to them, but will cost us very little, but
Yeah,
is hugely impactful on the other side. And that's kind of the aim of all this, isn't it? Is to provide as
yeah,
much value as you can.
absolutely. Yeah, so then you've got quantity. So this is quite similar, but I offer a discount for my one-to-one clients who book a block session and pay 6 months up front. So most of them coach in a monthly retainer, but for those who want to pay 6 months in advance, they get a 10% discount for doing so. There's been points in my business, it varies, month to month, it varies where the stats are at. But there's been a point where I had 90% of people choosing to do this because they wanted to save that money. So yeah, it often depends what time of year it is, what cash flow is like in the business at that point. But for anyone who's got the cash sitting in the bank at that particular time, it's a no-brainer. They're going to be spending the money anyway.
Yeah,
Why not save?
exactly. And it's a nice and cash injection for your business too when you've got people paying upfront, because it allows you to create different space in your business, right?
Yeah, I mean, pros and cons. I personally love seeing the money coming in every month. So for me, like I really love someone paying on a monthly retainer, but I also love the ones that pay up front because I think in a way that even enhances their level of commitment. Like I think it sort of deepens their I'm all in. And I should actually track that according to the results that my clients are getting. That would be a very interesting thing to track. But it's, it's not possible for everyone. So it's whatever is right for that individual. So another thing I love, and this works really well with sort of online stores or like, a lot of my clients have like physical stores,
Mhm.
is bundling. So packaging up complementary products together at a discounted rate. In reality, the customers probably wouldn't buy every single item in the bundle. So you're selling more products, but you're doing it in a way that gives them phenomenal value. So they're getting extra, they're paying a great price for all of them, but your profit increases as well. So have a think, what might that look like in your business? So something I'm just realizing I bundle is I run something called Success Club, which is a group mastermind. And I do one-to-one coaching, and I offer packages where you can buy them together and save. So I hadn't even considered that to be a bundle, but it absolutely is.
Yeah, and it's a perfect time of year for it because we've got Black Friday coming up and we've got Christmas coming up. So people get your thinking caps on. There is perfect opportunities to bundle out there.
Absolutely. So another classic one, and you'd see this for sort of long-term subscriptions, is that anyone subscribing for a longer period
Mm.
gets each month at a discounted price. So for example, you commit for 2 years and your monthly cost is lower. You know, it can look like different things. And a lot of these you're thinking, oh, that's quite similar. It doesn't really matter which one it is, as long as it's something that is done at the point of sale, adds value and delights your clients whilst increasing your profit. So have a think, people, like what are, of all of the things you've heard here, what would be the best for your business? Make a list of all the possibilities and even ask some of your clients, like, what would you love? Because client feedback is the most valuable thing you could have. Um, and what I'd really encourage you to do is once you've picked what it's going to be, is script it and practice it, even if it is in front of the mirror 500 times until it's natural. Practice it because you want this to be rolling off your tongue in just a casual, effortless way. Like you don't want to be taking a deep breath and rushing it. It should be something that becomes second nature. And of course, the first time you do it, you're going to be terrified. That's absolutely fine. That's expected. But make sure you're doing it enough and you've practiced enough in advance, like do it to family members, whatever, do it to your pet. I've been I've been practicing this presentation on my 2-year-old this morning. She was remarkably unimpressed that it wasn't Peppa Pig, but it doesn't matter who you're practicing to. So in terms of scripting, I'm going to give you some examples. I'm looking at cross-sell wording because I think this is often something that we have to say and it's a bit scarier. So imagine, for example, you are in a photography shop. You've got a salesman there who is trying to suggest you purchase a digital memory card or a case alongside a digital camera. So you've got the digital camera. This is your big purchase. They're not, they can be cheap, but like generally, if you're in a shop, they're probably not cheap. And actually, either of these accessories, they fit perfectly with it. Always great to start a cross sell with a because. There's like psychological justification, but all you need to do is all you need to know is start with a because. So you might say something along the lines of, because you're purchasing this lovely camera today, would you like to choose one of these however many gigabyte memory cards? And I'll just add $29.99 to your order. So the key words there, you can use this for anything. Because you are purchasing whatever today, would you like to choose one of these whatever? And I'll just add however much to your order. And pause this, scribble that down, highlight it. That's something you need to be able to come back to. It's a few simple words that can add a significant profit to your sale. And it's so important that your staff, if you have like a team, are trained and incentivized to use this, and they've rehearsed it a lot. Failure to do so means you probably won't get the upsell, like, or cross sell. You probably won't increase the sale, and it could be costing both you and your clients in that benefit. Think as well about a pair of cufflinks after you buy a shirt. Complementary products that will cost less usually than the shirt. So, because you're purchasing a shirt today, we have a special offer on cufflinks, which are made of sterling silver and will add a further level of elegance to your new shirt. Whatever, describe the benefit. Can I add just $19.99 to your order? So the keywords from that I'd love you to write down so you can come back to them easily. Because you're purchasing whatever today, we have a special offer on whatever, which are describe the benefit. Can I add just however much to your order? Very simple. It can be used for anything, and it flows. It sounds natural. People aren't going to be sitting there thinking, standing there, whatever, ooh, I'm being upsold to right now. They're going to be like, ooh, yeah, quite fancy some new cufflinks. They're very pretty. Sorry, for a man, they're very elegant, whatever. So for service businesses, you might be sitting here thinking, well, that's fine, but I'm not a shop. I provide services. Well, that is fabulous. Look for opportunities of other things that you provide, because it may well be, and I know people who've experienced this, your customer or client is looking for the other stuff that you offer, and they don't have a Scooby that you offer it. Like, they just don't, if you don't tell them what you offer, a lot of the time they don't know. And if you can add on in a way that gives them phenomenal value and is a bonus to them, it's a win-win. Everyone comes out of the situation better. If they don't want it, they're going to say no thank you. It's not a big deal. No one's going to die. You don't even need to be embarrassed, because it's just saying, does this benefit you? If yes, great. If no, then let's just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who are thinking, okay, what could this be? What could my cross sell be? Highly recommend that you list out all of your offering, like every single thing that you offer, and then just look for opportunities. What would be a natural add-on, so that anytime you are chatting to a client, you've almost got a list, near you at hand, not something you've got to dig through and look at, but something that you can glance up and be like, right, they're buying this. What is the natural, or what are the few options that are the natural cross sell to that? And you'll probably know based on your conversation what is the best fit for them. Like, so as Johanna was saying, sorry, messing up your name. Listen to your clients, hear what they're saying, and then offer them something that's genuinely going to benefit them. That's what this is all about, is being real, being authentic, and actually helping your clients. This isn't about you, it's about them. And yeah, it's helpful to make more profit as well. I have very few clients that don't want to make more money. I have one or two. I mean, I have some pro bono charities that I work with. So have a real think. Upsell or cross sell. Don't do both. Pick one per conversation, and just try different things and see what works best. Think about what could work in your business. How could you implement them? What else could you do? If this was a live session, I'd be asking you to discuss, but it's not. So just take that time, do yourself a favor and really, really think about this. So I did this session last December, and I fired it off. I was about to go on holiday for a couple of months. I spent last winter in Thailand, which is phenomenal. And while I was out there, I got a message from an amazing photographer that I know, who'd been on my session, who I absolutely adore. And she was like, by the way, thanks for that session. I went away, I thought about it, and I chose an upsell. I sat on it for a while because I was can I swear on here?
Yes.
I was absolutely shitting it. And then I did it. And she said yes. And it was amazing because her client got this phenomenal bundle of this. I don't actually know exactly what the package was, but it was a brilliant package that absolutely fitted her needs better than what she'd originally said yes to. And my contact, the photographer, I think, I'm not sure if she made, there was 1,000 in this package. I'm not sure if it was an additional 1,000 or if it what it looked like exactly. But for her, this was the biggest win of her photography career. It was massive to her. It was like life business changing for her. And it was as well for her client because she got this phenomenal package at great value. So yeah, really encourage you just to do the work and think about it and then implement.
Yes, 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 Ruth. Yes to all of that. There's so many nuggets and takeaways in all this that are so implementable, and it's about whether or not you choose to do it. So I want to, echo what Ruth was saying. Even though this isn't live, reply back to the email that's gone out with this video in it so that you're actively engaging. You're like, this is what I'm committing to. This is what I'm going to create, because it will help you move forward in your action. And it is scary. Like I know the first time I offered a bundle, or I did an upsell, I was terrified of it. But as you practice it and as you walk through it, you will see what's possible for you to create, and you'll understand that you're actually coming from a place of generosity. So as much as you might feel like it starts off being pushy or like over the top, you'll understand, actually no, I'm being generous because I can see that you need this. I can see that it will support you. Let me offer it to you. I always think we're actually quite selfish if we hold back offers that are actually going to support somebody.
Absolutely, I fully agree with that.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I just want to highlight 4 key takeaways that I'd love to make sure you leave this session with. The first one, understand this. The absolute key thing that I want you to leave this with is understanding upselling or cross selling. It's got to be a win win. If it's not a massive win for your client, don't embarrass yourself. Don't do it.
Mm.
It should offer your client a great value deal for buying more or upgrading. And it must increase your profit. Please, please, please run the numbers. If your profit's not increasing, you know,
Yeah.
it's not the right thing. Find a different one or do something else. Number 2, make it easy. The absolute best upsells or cross sells are short one liners that are simple to say and simple for the client to understand. Buy 2, get 1 free. Anyone can get that. Upgrade to our deluxe model. Anyone can get that. Anyone can say it. Add extra hours at a reduced rate. It's these short, snappy messages that can make all the difference. So choose one that works for your business, script it, train people if you need to, and practice, practice, practice until it rolls off the tongue and it feels good. Number 3, use it. And use it at the right time. So there's kind of 2 subpoints here. First one, feel the fear and do it anyway. When you understand that you're actually offering your client a win, it's much less daunting. That's actually really nasty of you if you don't share something that could really benefit them. Like you're not helping them if you hold back. They might say no, but if they don't know about it, they can't say yes. So just make sure you offer it, feel the fear and do it anyway. It actually isn't as scary as you think. And the second bit of this subpoint is the second subpoint in this point is the timing. So make sure you offer when they've said yes, when they're in buying mode. That's when you offer the upsell. If you're offering a deal at a different time, that's great. There's a space for that, but that's not an upsell. And there's probably a slightly different technique that you want to be using. And just make sure your staff are using it. So do you guys remember the Supersize program on TV, like back in the day? This
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
no idea what his name was, should have really checked the details before this. The whole program was he had to eat McDonald's for like a month.
Mm,
Not recommended, by the way. I'm pretty sure he was dying by the end of it, like
yeah,
physically
no.
dying. But anytime they asked him if he wanted to supersize, he had to say yes and he had to eat it. Ugh. They tracked it.
Yeah.
Guess how many times, how many percentage of the time he was asked to supersize over the month of meals?
Oh, I don't even know if I'd want to hazard a guess, to be honest with you.
It was only 30%. So, McDonald's, the best business machine in the world, They're like the globally like recognized, probably best franchise because their systems are phenomenal.
Yeah.
But only 30% of their staff were at the 30% of the time their staff were actually asking to supersize. That is missing potentially a massive amount of profit.
Wow.
And that's this like global machine that we all know. It's a household name. So that just goes to show like training your staff and making them very aware and like almost incentivizing them to do it is
Yeah.
essential.
That's amazing, isn't it? That's
It's
like so.
incredible. And then the fourth and final point in my takeaways is you don't have to do this. So it's just one of many, many, many amazing business growth tools and strategies that are out there. So if you're not feeling it, don't do it, but find a different strategy that works for you and go for it because you deserve it and your clients deserve it. So for anyone who's basically been on this and really interested to understand and learn more strategies on how to grow your business, highly recommend subscribing to my business growth strategies newsletter. Sign-ups on my website, www.successcoaching.biz. I'd also love to connect with anyone on Instagram because I try and share a lot of value. LinkedIn as well. So on Instagram, I am at Grow Your Business with Ruth, or on LinkedIn, it's Ruth Ferreira. Good luck spelling the surname. Have a check on the email what it says. And actually, for anyone who's heard this and they're like, "Wow, I need more of this in my business." So that's basically anyone who's serious about taking their business to the next level in the next year. Booking a chat with me. Again, you can do that through your website, successcoaching.biz. I have a range of services that are affordable at all different places, all different levels in your business. And I have a few spaces left on my new Success Club, which I think launches in about a week from when I'm scheduled on this. And I would love to offer one person who is seeing this on the conference a 25% discount on that Success Club place. So if you think that might be something for you, let's book in a chat, super relaxed, and just see if it is a fit for you.
Thank you. All of Ruth's details are below the video, including her website and how you can make contact with her. And look, let's be honest, for everybody that's on here, this is something that you need to know. And although Ruth has said, if it's not for you, don't go with it, I would highly encourage you to, because I know it benefited my business when I started doing that and realized that actually it's creating more value and supporting people where they're at. And even with cross selling, like I know I do it in my business, there's some things that I just don't know how to do, but does that mean that I can't support the person? No. Who can I go to that can help support them, and then do a crossover, or even create a bundle that way too, which I've done in the past. So I wouldn't shy away from this. I would look at this and go, what's possible, and speak to somebody like Ruth that can actually support you with this and get you to where you want to be with this, rather than shying away from it. So Ruth, thank you so much for saying that was so valuable.
I'm glad. Well, thank you for the opportunity. Like I am all about help. I work with women and men, but I am all about the women, to be fair. I wanna see women just like rising up and smashing it.
Yeah.
So can I share a couple of parting
Of
thoughts?
course.
So I just want to say to everyone, like, you are capable. You yourself, you are capable of amazing things. 5 years from now, if you absolutely go for it, you're going to look back and your mind is going to be blown with what you've achieved and what you couldn't even have fathomed was possible. So dream big, like dream really big, and then get strategic. Work out how does that dream happen, and just absolutely go for it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Singing the same words I use. Love that. And
Amazing.
thank you,
Thank you
Ruth.
so much.
Thank you.